Putin's dark future. Russia faces doomsday as financial sanctions completely paralyze Russia. In the context of financial penalties are pushing Russia into a deadlock. Putin has now become helpless in the face of the problems facing Russia's economy. The Russian economy is on the verge of collapse after many countries around the world, such as the US and European countries, simultaneously introduce sanctions and strongly attack the Kremlin. Sanctions have completely paralyzed Russia up to the present time. The part that hit me is the power that sanctions from private sector companies can have. Microsoft receives security licenses for many of its top executives and is essentially Ukraine's cyber defense force, which helps governments prevent attacks on infrastructure and a number of other things. And then Apple decided that if you were in Russia and you had an iPhone, now it's really a brick. Russian industrial and manufacturing activity fell sharply in March and early April. Russian orders have also plummeted since Putin launched his attack on Ukraine. Western sanctions have essentially isolated Russia from the international banking system and barred it from absorbing new technologies. Experts predict this is just the beginning of a large contraction of the Russian economy this year. On the other hand, Russia is having a similar problem with North Korea, that if they try to really use their troops, many of their soldiers will defect because they not only don't have anything they really want fight but also really deal better by defecting than they will get by fighting. That's why in many cases prisoners of war are usually treated pretty well as long as they don't cause trouble. If you treat your own prisoners better, or the other side treats their own soldiers, in many cases, especially if the soldiers find nothing meaningful, many of them are willing to ready to be a prisoner. During World War I, a lot of Italian soldiers just let themselves be captured by the Germans and then wouldn't try to run away because as long as they were considered captured, the Germans would feed them better. Italy's army, and victory did not hurt them. It's a much better deal than what they got in the trenches. Russia's GDP could shrink 15% in 2022 and 3% in 2023 as a result of sanctions, wiping out decades of progress in the country. These will bring Russia back to the Stone Age. During the 2008 global financial crisis, a decline of a similar magnitude would be twice as severe as that of Russia. As noted by an analyst from the International Institute for Strategic Studies, further escalation of the conflict could lead to Russian energy boycotts, which would significantly reduce the capacity to import goods and Russian services, exacerbating the recession.